most home sellers that I work with don't actually waste their money preparing the house to sell. That's not where the money gets lost. You see, here's where it gets lost. You spent the last 8 years in a house, and somewhere along the way, you redid the kitchen exactly the way you wanted it. And maybe you gutted the bathroom and you put real money into it. $20, $30, $40,000 for your life, for your comfort, and for your taste. Now that you're gonna sell the house, you expect a buyer to pay you back for all of that dollar for dollar. And that right there is the single biggest mistake I see home sellers make in Central Texas right now. It's not under preparing, it's overvaluing the upgrades that they made for themselves. In this video, I'm going to talk about what to fix before selling your home in Killeen, what actually moves the needle for buyers, and what you should never expect to get paid back for. My name's Stephen Harris, real estate broker here in Central Texas. Let's dive into it. Let me explain why this happens, because it's completely understandable. When you renovate a home while you're living in it, you're making decisions based on what you want. Your kitchen, your finishes, your layout. You're not thinking about resale value, or like maybe you are, but what you want is actually going to be the deciding factor. You're thinking more about your real life. And that's exactly how it should be while you're living there. Here's what happens at selling time. You add up everything that you spent, the kitchen, the bathroom, the upgrades, and then you build it in to your price expectation. So you think my house should be worth what the neighbor's house sold for, plus the $40,000 that I put into it. And to be real with you, that is just not how buyers think. You see, a buyer doesn't see your $40,000 kitchen and add $40,000 to what they'll pay. They see a nice kitchen, and that might be the reason that they pick your house over the one down the street, but they're not cutting you a check based on the renovation budget and top of the market value. And the real truth underneath all of this, and probably the most important thing I'll say in this video, people paying top dollar want move-in ready. The people who want a project, they want that for cheap. You can't get both. You cannot charge top dollar and hand someone a project all at the same time. The question isn't, how do I get paid back for what I spent? The question should be like, what do I do now to make sure that this home is move-in ready and earns top dollar? Those are two different questions. And the answer is usually a lot cheaper than another big budget renovation. So I recently had to not work with some home sellers based on this same thing. They had a beautiful house sitting on acreage, very desirable, private gated community. And they had put almost $100,000 into the renovations. And when we were going to prepare the list price, the seller told me point blank, hey, I put $100,000 into it. I expect to get my $100,000 back. And that brought us to a price that I just felt was absolutely unreasonable. Out of all my love, respect, and admiration for them, I had to walk away and let them list that home with another agent, because I could not, in good conscience, take that listing knowing that there would be so much stress, heartache, price drops, time on the market, and so many factors that we just couldn't control to make this house sell for the price that they wanted. So they ended up going elsewhere, and I had to wish them the best of luck. And while the upgrades and renovations that they did do added value, it didn't add the dollar for dollar value that they wanted. So if we're just now trying to really get top dollar for our neighborhood and for our market, what are the things that we can do to get our return on investment? Let's talk about what actually moves the needle. All right, so if the big renovations aren't worth spending the money, then where do you spend? Let me give you the things that actually turn the knob. Number one is going to be curb appeal, the front yard. And this is one that sellers underspend on the most. Even home builders, like this has the biggest of all the returns because it's the first impression. It matters so much because the front of your home is the first thing a buyer sees in the listing photos and before they ever visit. And then in person, when they actually pull up, that first impression really sets the tone for the rest of the showing. Now, if the front is tired and just looks bad, they're already walking in looking for problems. But if the front is sharp, then they already walk in wanting to like it. So redoing your flower bed, which I just recently had to redo mine. It's not cheap, it's not easy, but it's worth it. Fresh mulch, trimmed bushes, and a clean, defined landscape. This is a few $100s and almost $1,000. It can be, but that changes the emotional starting point for every single showing. Spend the money there. Now, number 2, outdoor living space. This is a Texas thing for sure. People here love a good backyard. And so the back patio matters more in this market than probably somewhere else. But a clean, finished back porch where they have good epoxy or a glossy finish on the concrete, or it's tiled up right, that adds real appeal to someone. And that's the kind of place that you want a buyer to walk out onto and picture their life happening there. And here's one that most home sellers don't think about, especially in this crazy Texas market and all these subdivisions. It's privacy. Me personally, I added a few trees to my backyard to block out the neighbor behind me, and I'm not even selling, but it made a difference, okay? The backyard suddenly felt like its own private space instead of me just being on display. That kind of privacy adds a feeling of value that's hard to put a number on, but buyers feel it the second they step outside. They can see the neighbor, or they can see the beautiful landscaping that you put in place. Landscaping in the back, or a patio finish and a little privacy, like these things aren't huge expenses, but in Texas, they will move buyers. So if you've been taking notes, then this next one is maybe the highest return for the lowest cost of anything else in this video. You know what I'm gonna say? Paint. Paint. When you live in a house, life happens, especially to those walls. You got the scuffs and the marks and the color you wanted to paint the office that made sense at the time. And here in Texas, we've got something else. Our foundations move. So you get these little cracks where the tape seams in the drywall kind of came loose, or these hairline cracks in the corners along the ceiling. It's totally normal for this area. Doesn't mean your foundation is crap, but buyers walk through and they instantly think bad foundation. So they see a problem that they can negotiate on, even if they know nothing's wrong with that foundation. So touching up that paint and patching those cracks, refreshing those walls back to a clean, neutral color, that's not expensive, and it makes the whole home feel cared for. In some years, neutral colors weren't as popular as they are right now, but I've seen homes that were painted with a little personality sit on the market for way longer than a home that was just a plain white box. I think it's just where home buyers are right now. And here's a pro move that most sellers are gonna skip. I've recommended it so many times and so many sellers skipped it, but it really helps. Repaint that trim. Okay, a fresh coat on the baseboards and the trim done with a little brush. It costs more in labor, but there is also something that makes the home feel newer and more crisp and clean with a nice newly painted trim. It signals to a buyer that this home has been maintained, and that's what you want. It feels fresh. It's not a new build, of course, but it feels closer to one, because that's the whole game. Buyers paying top dollar do not want to feel like they're moving into someone else's mess, or even someone else's vision, or someone else's deferred maintenance. Like, they want to walk in and feel like it's ready for them. Now, a little advice: refreshing your paint while you're still living in the house is a good move. Don't wait until you're trying to sell and then you're scrambling. Do it as a part of just living in the home, and it's gonna save you the heartache later. And don't go 8 years with no coats of paint anywhere in the house and then expect the house to sell for top dollar as is. They're just not going for that right now. Now, here's one of the biggest things that might set your home apart, and that is flooring, specifically carpet. All right. If you've got old carpet, and honestly, carpet at all in the main living rooms, then that may be a thing that's holding your home back. Most buyers in this market do not want carpet. They don't want old carpet. They don't even really want new carpet. They see it and they think about the cost and the hassle of replacing it, and they mentally subtract that from the value of your home. Here in Texas, we've got so much allergies and dust, and like, especially if you got small kids that are running in and out of the house, like they're tracking all that in. Having carpet is just not gonna lean itself towards your house. So when it comes to floors, I gotta keep it real. Putting in hard floors may not give you back dollar dollar for dollar. You might spend $8,000 or $9,000 and $8,000 will probably not get added to your appraised value. But that's not the point. The point is to make your home stand out above the house down the street that still has the old carpet. So when a buyer is choosing between two similar homes and yours has the clean, modern, hard floors and the other one has that worn, old builder grade carpet, yours is gonna win. And the home that wins the buyer's heart is the one that gets the strongest offer. People are logical 10% of the time, emotional 90% of the time. Even if the flooring doesn't return it dollar for dollar on paper, this can be the thing that turns the knob and makes the difference between your home being the no-brainer choice and your home being the one that they pass on. And at minimum, get the carpets professionally cleaned, all right? Okay, so let me give you a simple way to think about all of this. Don't spend money on what you hope to get paid back for. Spend money on what makes a buyer choose your home over the next one. Big renovations done for resale rarely return what you put in, but the cosmetic, move-in ready stuff, curb appeal, a clean patio, fresh paint and trim, good flooring, that's what's gonna make your home the one that the buyers compete for. And competition is what protects your net proceeds, because then we have my favorite word, leverage. Let's take some time to think about what is not on my list, all right? A brand new kitchen right before selling. A full bathroom gut a month before you list. Don't do it, all right? Replacing a roof that's still got life left in it. Don't do it. Those are gonna all be some big checks that buyers do not want to pay you back for. It's the smaller stuff that makes the home feel clean and cared for and ready for a buyer to move in. Every dollar should answer one question. Does this make my home a move-in ready winner? Or am I just hoping to get reimbursed for my own taste? That's the difference between a smart move and an emotional one. All right, let's land the plane. Biggest money-making mistake in selling isn't failing to prepare, it's expecting a buyer to reimburse you for the life you lived in the home. They will not. What they will do is pay top dollar for a home that's clean, cared for, and move-in ready, and then reward you with a stronger offer when yours is like clearly the best option on the block. So before you spend $1 getting ready to sell, the smart move is to know what your home is actually worth right now, okay? And where your prep dollars might have the most impact. That's part of what I do in this free market analysis. I'll pull real comparable sales for your neighborhood, show you 4 pricing scenarios and the net proceeds for each one. Then I'll give you my honest read on where your home sits and all of that noise. This is actually really worth doing before you list. No pitch, no obligation. You take the quiz, tell me your address, and I'll have it back to you in a few days. I do them all myself by hand, so it's not a fast process nor an automated one, but it is very accurate and very useful. Okay, my name is Stephen Harris. I cover Central Texas market and I give real advice to homeowners in Killeen, Fort Hood, Pflugerville, Georgetown, Hutto, all throughout Bell County. You can find me in all of those places. And once your home is prepped and priced right, the next thing you're gonna face is offers, and the highest number is not always the best offer, okay? This video breaks down how to actually read an offer beyond the price, and it's right there, ready for you to click. I'll see you over there, all right? Peace.